Good evening, fabric friends. My name is Hammy and I'm the Hammy Dressmaker. Welcome back to another vlog. It's been bloody ages. So I thought I'd just pop on and give you a bit of an update on some exciting projects I have been doing, what I've been doing in the world of sewing, because even though I've been kind of absent a little while from here, I've actually been doing a huge amount. So I'm going to do a bit of a show and tell, including this item that I'm wearing here, and tell you some other bits and pieces, so stay tuned. Bye. Good evening everyone, my name is Hammy, I'm the Hammy Dressmaker. Welcome back to another vlog. This week I'm going to be doing a week in the sewing room. I'll see how much I get done this week. This is a new project. I've got lots of WIPs, which I might try and do this week, or I might not. I might just have a week of, I don't know, doing pencil cases. I don't know. We shall see. So I'm just going to overlock the t-shirt. The fabric is from Longside Market. We've got lots of focus issues this evening. That I bought with lovely Alex Judge. You can find a video of the fabric haul in my profile, and everyone who's watched it seems to like the haul. I might do another one quite shortly. So anyway, enough gassing. Let's get on with the actual sewing content. So see you in a bit. So what I'm doing now is I'm stay stitching the top before I actually start serging it. Lesson learnt from my last project where I didn't bother stay stitching it and things mysteriously grew. Which way is it? That way. I do it 1 centimetre, I think. Start overlocking. Now usually with t-shirts the common advice is to put some clear elastic at the shoulder seams in order to stop it from stretching out. If this was more expensive fabric I would do that, but this is, as I say, cheap stuff off the market. That doesn't mean it's any less worthy, but it does mean when I don't have any clear elastic kind of in stock, I'm debating whether it's worth the expense of buying it, considering the clear elastic is worth more than the material is. But anyway, if I find the clear elastic, which I think I've got somewhere, I will do that. But otherwise I'm going to carry on. So I didn't find the clear elastic, but I did find acres of this stuff, which I remember buying after I got the Gertie book for better dressmaking, but I have no idea what this actually is. But it's small and it's firm, so it will do for a shoulder seam. So kind of partially good practice. So ignore all of the mess over here. So this is where I'm up to currently. So that little ribbon has gone on the top there, just within what would be the cut of the serge line. Pinned, sleeves, a neckband, and that's all there is to this pattern. There isn't even any darts. It's part of the reason why I like making it so much. It's incredibly low maintenance in terms of effort. So I'm just going to take this over to the sewing machine, or the serger should I say, and start serging that. And with any luck, I might get it 3/4 finished by the end of tonight. Good evening. Oh, I'm falling off my chair. Smooth. So welcome back to night 2 of the sewing diary. I'll just adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. So I am up to overlocking. Last night I ran out of time. I had to do adult stuff. So I'm gonna set up the camera up so you can see some serging action, which I'm sure will thrill you because you've never seen that before. But hopefully I should be able to get all the overlocking kind of done tonight, and then I can do the neckband tomorrow, and then I've got a completed outfit pretty much. That's the plan. Let's see where I got to, eh? Hello, so this is the next part of the sewing diary. It has been, a good old week since last time I put the camera on. So I've just been busy really, and when I've had time to sew, that's what I've been doing rather than worrying about filming. So where we're up to is I've finished off the dress, I have finished off the t-shirt, okay. So what have I been up to? Well, in a moment I'll stand up and show you the items that I've made, tell you a little bit about them. There'll be a common theme in these makes, as you'll see in a minute. And I want to show you a couple of projects that I'm going to be working on. One which I'm going to try and complete by Sunday, and if you know the date of this video, you might take a guess as to what kind of item I'm trying to make. The other item is going to be more long term, and I want to do a sewing diary based on it, so you might see a lot more of this project because it is quite a big one for me. So what I've been up to? Well, I indulged myself in the latest Makerist sale. Now if you haven't heard of Makerist, think of the fold line but not as quite as organised. It's an online pattern shop, but unlike the fold line, they do actually do sales, and there is a particular pattern which got me very excited, which I made. So I have bought a few things from them before, you know, quilting patterns, even though I've never made a quilt, and a few other things, but this was my first kind of, I bought from them, and I made something from them as well. And the actual deal was that early in the year they had a $2 pattern sale, and that covered quite a few thousand patterns. So I bought a few, and then they also run sales for those who have previously bought from them before. So they know your account, and they'll apply the discount if you've bought from them. So it might be worth just finding a very cheap pattern of them so you get the notifications for when the sales are actually on. And the sale that it was a $2 sale. Now that was very exciting, so I ended up buying 8 patterns from them. 2 from a company called Sew and Tell, which is the pattern that I got very excited by, and I bought a load from Made by Oranges. So without further ado, I'm just going to pause this, show you some of the makes so you see what I've been up to and where they've come from, and then I'll talk about the future makes. So here is my first make, and some of you may be going, I know what that pattern is. It's the Nina Lee South Bank sweater, which I actually have, but this is not. This is a Simply Sewing pattern. This is the Lauren set. So if you are looking for a cheaper alternative to the Nina Lee South Bank sweater, it might be worth getting onto eBay and trying to find a second-hand copy of that magazine. There is limited sizing on this, so this would be more suitable for slimmer figures, and I was literally the last size. So in terms of the actual fabric, I've had this on my stash for a very long time, but I'll just give you a quick twirl. There you go. So this is a poly knit, and I got the fabric from Walthamstow Market, gosh, about maybe 3 years ago, and I paid 75p for 2 panel prints. As you can see, I really used the panel print to the most that I could use it for. This white band at the bottom is actually the end of one panel to the other, and just decided to use it as a border. This was a very quick, very easy pattern. I did do a bicep adjustment to this to give myself a bit of room. Glad I did, because I really don't like a tight sleeve, which I found with the Nina Lee South Bank is quite tight. The neck is also quite a bit looser than the South Bank, which again suits me a little better. I think when I make the South Bank next time, and I am planning to do it soon, is I will kind of shorten the collar piece. So that is make number 1. Okay, so here is the next make. So this, somebody may go, well, it's October, Gemma, why have you made a summer dress? Excellent point. But I actually started this one in the summer. So this beautiful fabric is was a birthday present, and my birthday was in May. And it's a viscose. Now it's slightly crumpled, I have to say, because it's gone into the wardrobe. But this is, the pattern is the Vivian dress, again by Simply Sewing. Notice the pattern here. And here we go. This is a semi-successful make. I did move the apex, which was successful, kind of. Yeah, no, I should have moved the apex, I think, looking at it now. But I did do a full bust adjustment, and I think the arms are slightly tight, so perhaps more of an adjustment needs to be done. I also messed up on the front facing here, because I should have stay stitched the edge, and then I overlocked it and it did stretch it out, so my facing and my main fabric didn't meet. But again, I don't think anyone bar you lot will notice this. I have to say it is annoying me a little, so I might have to do something about that. But here is full view. But despite its flaws, it's a very nice dress. Shame I won't get to wear it properly until the weather is slightly improved. But yeah, it's gorgeous. Very happy with it. Thank you my friend for sending me the fabric. And here is my final make. Now, I've got to cut threads and things like this, but this is one of the Makerist patterns that I previously mentioned. This is by Sew and Tell Patterns, and it's called the Madcap jacket, and you'll see why in a moment. So I've still got to hem it, but it's close enough. So you go, there's a nice waterfall jacket. Bam! Look at the back. Isn't that cool? So what we've got here is some ruffles and some back details, and I think it turns it from quite a boring front into something a little special. So this is part of my Halloween, or maybe my Halloween outfit. Let me show you what planning to pair it with. So this is a cotton sateen with a massive snake on it. So if I get this finished, then this will be kind of a Slytherin inspired outfit, I think. I didn't intend that when I started, but the green and with the snake kind of lend itself to that. Now if I don't finish it, no biggie, it will still be a very nice shirt, and I'm not planning to wear them together after Halloween, just to make them more wearable. I don't mind people making stuff for Halloween, you know, whatever you want to make, you know, that's your choice and you should enjoy what you sew. However, for me, I don't want to necessarily make something just for Halloween. I think it's, let me just adjust the camera, I think it's a bit of a waste of potential. So I always want to make things that, although I want to have fun with the day, I want to be able to split them up and still use them and not feel conscious about putting them like in an outfit. So I have 1.5 meters of this cotton sateen, and I picked it up actually from a D-stash months ago. See, it's really big, kind of snake print. What am I planning to do with it? That's an excellent question. I haven't got a clue. But because I've got 1.5, it is quite wide as well. So I do have quite a nice chunk of fabric here. So what shall I do? What shall I do? Well, after I finish shooting this video, I'm going to have a bath, and then I'm going to have a muse through my patterns and see what I can find. But I think it's got to be simple, because it's a loud enough print anyway. I'm also got to kind of, because it is cotton, I'm going to have to serge it, put it through the wash before I do anything with it. And then, finally, I have to go and get the fabric because I forgot to bring it up. I've got my big project. So, because of the lack of time and of the fact I've only got 1.5 meters, my options for this pattern are a little limited. So, what I'm going to do is this pattern, which is the normal blouse from Fibre Mood, is the pattern that I'm going to do. The reason why I've picked this pattern is I just think it's fab, really. I have tried to do this before, unsuccessfully. Couple of reasons for that. One, I didn't know how to do full bust adjustments, so I don't think this has got a dart, so I'm still going to have to get the old books out to find out how to do the full bust adjustment. And two, I underestimated how big my wrist is, so the sleeve was super tight. But in terms of construction, it's pretty simple. It's got front, back, 2 sleeves, and it's got a facing piece and your buttons. So theoretically, I could do it. And even if I don't manage it, it'll still be fun while I try. So, as promised, another sewing diary. Wish me luck. Let's get started, eh? Okay, so for those who are not familiar with Fibre Mood, the idea is it's a little bit like Bird magazine, as in it's got this nest of different patterns all on the same page, so it's quite difficult to navigate. And the other part of the bit that I don't like about Fibre Mood is it doesn't actually give you your size within the pattern, within the magazine itself. It gives you finished garment measurements, but not your indicative size, which is a bit annoying. So I'm going to pick a size 20 for my bust, and I'm going to grade out to a size 22 for my hips. So a top tip, just in case you do want to use Fibre Mood after seeing this video, the patterns come in this green wallet in the magazine, and normally these things are just a piece of paper, aren't they? Fibre Mood have put something in which is actually quite useful. So they have little charts. So bear in mind how busy it actually is. It shows you on each, gives you the logo of where the pattern is, and then it tells you actually what pieces and what they're called actually on this little legend here. So I know on this page I've got more to trace off than this page. So super useful little thing there, just in case you are struggling to trace off. It just helps you a little bit, I think. So okay, so I've cut the pattern out. I haven't put it onto the fabric yet, but just again another note, just in case you're not familiar with Fibre Mood, they don't include seam allowances, so that's taken quite a while for me to trace those out. Now apparently actually on the PDF versions they're included, but the paper versions they are not. So that's taken me a good hour and a bit to add those on because I want them to be as accurate as possible. So I believe their advice is 1 centimetre on the hems and 2 to 4 centimetres on, sorry, 1 centimetre on the seams and 2 to 4 on the hems. So what I've done is I've done 1.5 centimetres on the seams because I think I always want a little bit more, just in case I do need to do an adjustment. I've got some fabric there to actually play around with, and 2 to 4 centimetres again because I want to be able to kind of lower, or if it's too long I can cut it off. If it's too short I can't make it longer. So I've added 4 centimetres on, and now I'm just about to about to lay out the fabric and then cut it out. So right, so I have 95% of the pattern on the fabric. I say 95 because disaster has struck and I don't have enough fabric to do all of it. It's not too bad of a disaster though, because the only bit I can't fit on is the facing piece. So I'm going to use some black viscose I've got in my cupboard to finish that off. Apologies to my mother, who has recently learnt how to find me on YouTube and is going to absolutely detest this print. Sorry mum, but you know, the former goth of me had to have it. And there we go. See the size of that sleeve piece? It's flipping huge. But it is going to be gathered up at the top, and at the bottom I'm going to put an elastic cuff. And if you can hear that, then it is, well, it's Halloween Eve, and people have decided to get the fireworks out, so you might hear a few kind of bangs as this this video progresses. Anyway, that's where I'm up to at the moment. I'll set the camera up to do a time lapse of me cutting out because I find that very satisfying. So this is night 2 of my shirt. I didn't make Halloween, but that's fine. Can I just say, if you're trick-or-treating in this, you're freaking mental. The only reason I'm out is because I'm a dog and he won't leave me alone. Oh, stay in and watch Freaky Friday or something. Gee whiz. Fine, it's still going to be a cool shirt, I hope anyway. Yeah, definitely not going to be a favourite of Mum's, I don't think. So where I'm up to currently is I've got to put some elastic in the sleeve, which is what I'm going to do this evening. And then I've got to put some buttons down it. I'll find the buttons for you in a minute. And then I've got to hem it. And that's it, and then it's done. So it seems a bit of an anticlimax really. I should have kind of pushed through really to get it finished for Halloween, but you know, if you're not enjoying it, once you're at the point where you're no longer enjoying the process, you just stop because you're just going to make mistakes. So I will check back with you in a bit, maybe with some buttons. See you in a bit. Lesson to be learned, guys. When you're coughing, don't try and do buttonholes. I was tearing the buttonhole open and I coughed, and I've torn right past my stitching. Oh well, never mind. Needle and thread will make it all better, I'm sure. But lesson learned. Okay, so the buttonholes and buttons are all in. I don't think I've lined up the fabric dead on because I seem to have a little bit of excess at the bottom. Now I've done the buttonholes, damn it. Never mind, that's just between you and me, right? Shh. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to undo the buttons and I'm going to wipe away all the chalk. And then put fray check on it because you can't put fray check on a wet blouse. And then I'm also going to do some hand tacking of this facing. It's a little bunched at the top, I don't know why. And it keeps flicking the facing out, so I'm going to do some herringbone stitches just at the top there to hold that in place, just so it's a little neater and it doesn't do my head in as much. And then hem, and then we're done. Sorry to show you my ill face. Wasn't any way I could avoid it. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. This is one of those things I actually hate hand sewing. I don't find it particularly enjoyable. However, I do really enjoy doing this particular stitch. It's almost like a little challenge to see how little you can see on the other side. Not that it matters because it's black and black thread, but it's a nice little kind of little challenge. It's quite relaxing. I like doing this in front of the telly. And all you're doing, I learnt this technique off a YouTube video, actually originally by Craftsy. I'm not sure if it'll still be on with the relaunch of Craftsy, but it was hand stitching techniques, and this is actually classed as a couture technique, but it's actually super easy. It just takes time, as most actually things are. So with makeup on, looking slightly better than dead, irony, anyone? This would have been my Halloween outfit, complete with the Sew and Tell Madcap jacket, which I made at Ponte Roma from So Affordable Fabrics. So I'm just going to take the jacket off and talk about the shirt. Okay, so the shirt, if you remember from early in the video, I slightly hacked the sleeves. When I've made this before, the cuff has been incredibly tight. So I still think that's a good decision. The sleeves themselves are very, very wide. They take up 90% of your fabric requirements. What I also don't like on the shirt is the fact it is so cropped. So if you, again, early in the video, I have messed up on the hem, but even still, it is very, very short. I would just prefer it just to kind of hit below my hip. I haven't done a full bust adjustment, and I'm not sure if that would have made a difference in terms of the fit. The material was a cotton sateen, and I think it was absolutely the best material that I would have had in my stash to do this pattern with. Earlier iteration of this pattern, I used, I think it was some sort of viscose linen, and although it was lovely, it doesn't hold the shape, and considering this shirt is all about the sleeves, you need something slightly more structured in order so you can see the poof. Now, if you're not bothered about the poof, then that's fine, you can use another material. The instructions for Fibre Mood, and the magazine instructions are fairly sparse, and to be honest with you, I just can't be bothered trying to break my way into Fibre Mood. Now, you're supposed to join them, which I have done, but the actual login page is all in Dutch. Unless somebody can direct me to the right page. I've clicked English and everything, it's just that when you seem to get to the login page, it tends to be in Dutch. I don't know what it's asking me to do. So I kind of just played it by ear. So I'm not sure how much of this is actually correct. I'm not going to say this is a tutorial video. It wasn't, it was a sewing diary. But hopefully if you have been struggling with a pattern, perhaps you've found this video to be useful. Anyway, that's it from me and my Halloween shirt, and I hope you're all well. Stay safe, guys. Bye.